In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please be seated. Friend. Do you have many friends? Or maybe you have just a few? Perhaps a best friend. When we think back to our childhood, we may recall one special friend in particular. And my best friend from childhood is Karen Mullally. Her birthday is June 2nd, and I remember that tidbit of information, although I rarely see her anymore. She has moved away. My mother would tell you that her best friend from childhood was Dulcie, and her best friend of the past 60-plus years is our very own Irene Mapps, who was missing at 8 o'clock, but she's here at 10 today with her family. What makes for a best friend, or even an ordinary friend? Friends are easy to come by these days if you subscribe to Facebook. For those of you who pay attention to grammar, Facebook has made the word friend, which was previously a noun only, also a verb. It's something you can do now. You can friend people. People known to you, or perhaps even a stranger that has been suggested. Then you are connected through social media. And I know for some of you, you might be saying, what is she talking about? With a few short clicks on your computer, you can enter into the everyday events of other people's lives. Or not. There are still a lot of people in the world who opt out of this activity, or at least restrict it in some way. I did have one friend for a long time who was a friend before Facebook, but then we were also friends on Facebook, and he was obsessed. He checked the number of his Facebook friends on a daily basis. He had really gone kind of out of control with it. And I admit that I am on Facebook, as we say, and I have a few friends there, comparatively with some of my other friends who have hundreds, if not thousands, and I'm pretty inactive on Facebook. My posts are few. And interestingly, I think the friends in my life that I'm closest to, for the most part, are not my friends on Facebook. So it begs the question, what does it mean to be friends? It's different things for different people, but surely many of us have a small circle of intimate friends who know us more fully. You know, the ones that we can't hide from. The ones who love us no matter what. The ones who forgive us no matter what. The ones that we love and forgive no matter what. And so what about Jesus today? He speaks of love and his friends. And he has an expectation of them. We might think of love as a relationship that doesn't have any expectation or demands. And we might say we place no expectations or demands on our friends. But I think that we do expect a reciprocity of the love and forgiveness that we expected in return. Jesus tells us we will be his friends if we do as he commands. And I think command sounds like such a strong word. And we might not put up with that sort of thing, commands, from another person in our lives. But Jesus is not just another one in the crowd. He is not a casual friend that comes recommended by social media. In our reading this morning, he's speaking with his disciples. These are the people who have listened to his commandments, accepted them, and formed their lives in response to those commandments. Jesus has told his disciples everything he has learned from his Father, and he holds nothing back from his friends. He has taught them to live lives grounded in radical love. Through word and deed, he has taught them to love the seemingly unlovable. Do we want to accept this friendship of Jesus? In accepting his friendship, we are also called to offer that friendship to others. Yesterday, it was a busy day here, and I was at one point standing out on the street with a friend right outside the church on Montgomery Street, and a man approached us to speak. We greeted him with hello, and the first thing that he said was to thank us for not telling him, "Get away from me," as most people were doing, had done. So we talked for a few minutes with him. We introduced ourselves and we asked his name. And it was an easy gesture. And it had great significance to him. There was acceptance without expectation. Are we willing to follow Jesus' commandments? Do our lives, patterned after all Jesus has taught and now commands us to do, bear fruit? Is it bearing fruit? What is the fruit that we're called to bear? Sometimes we're not sure, but I think it's quite simple. It is love. Accepting, forgiving, and radical. Love where it is least expected. Love where it is most needed. And where our love, springing forth from the love of God for us, bears more love in response. Amen.